Oh, I'm sorry if I hung up you. Call back.
No,
I'm sorry.
I'm still here.
Hello.
I'm still here.
Okay. How's it going?
Yeah, I had a comment about one of your 5 greatest moments in baseball.
Yes.
Most of them I'd say are valid, with the exception of the Buckner one.
Oh, are you kidding? That's my number 1. How come you don't think that's a good moment?
Well, I would say because it was a negative moment as far as somebody making an error on what was basically a weak grounder.
Right. I see where you're going with this. Okay.
So I don't see how you can call that great.
Here's why. Let me explain why. The Boston Red Sox curse is a real curse. People don't seem to recognize this, but let me explain. Since they sold Babe Ruth in 1918, they've made it to the World Series 4 times. All 4 times, gone to Game 7, and all 4 times they've lost. And weird things have happened. This is one of the weird things that happened. The Red Sox were up by 2 runs in the bottom of the ninth of Game 6 at Shea Stadium with 2 outs and nobody on base. They just needed 1 out to be World Series champions. The Mets put on this incredible rally, which is finished with the Buckner error. So it's not so much the Buckner error, it's just that's what symbolizes the curse. And the Mets came back and they were so joyous, go on to win Game 7, of course. Buckner's life, of course, is ruined. I'm not happy about that. That's not why it's a great moment. But it symbolizes the curse and the joyousness of the rally. That's why. What would you put in instead of the Buckner one, out of curiosity?
Offhand, I would definitely throw in, I would say Mazeroski's home run in 1960, Game 7.
That was a very good home run.
And possibly the Willie Mays over-the-shoulder catch, maybe.
Absolutely.
If you're talking moment, which is like an isolated incident, maybe.
Yeah. With me, how I chose this list, is a lot of it is my personal favorites.
I agree with the Gibson. That was a good one.
Yeah. Comes up, he's limping. He can barely walk to the batter's box. Hits it off Eckersley, perhaps the greatest reliever of all time, wins Game 1. The momentum pushes the Dodgers to the series over the A's.
So were you old enough for the Buckner incident? Were you old enough to watch that game?
I was alive then. I was.
I'm just curious. You were probably about 4 or 5, or you were just.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, actually, 86. I was only 3 years old.
So you didn't get to see it happen.
No, I did not. But I've seen plenty of clips.
Did you ever get to see Keith Hernandez play?
No, I did not. But he was a heck of a player. MVP in 1979, co-MVP.
Well, you know what I don't like about Hernandez is he made the second out in that game, and then he left the dugout, and he was in the clubhouse drinking beers while his team was still battling.
Oh yeah, I did not know that.
Yeah, I think that's a black eye for the Mets.
There's a lot of stories like that. There's
had you heard that before?
I've heard of Keith Mitchell.
Kevin Mitchell.
Kevin, excuse me.
Well, he got a big hit in that game. He and Carter and a few other guys.
The story.
Ray Knight.
By the way, everybody on hold. Hold on, I'll get you just a second. Kevin Mitchell. Here's a story with him. Goes and he thinks the game's over. Is in the clubhouse. He's even got all his clothes are basically off except for his jock. He's on the phone making reservations to get out of New York, and someone comes in and says the manager wants you to pinch hit, and he gets a hit off his former roommate in spring training on a different team.
Was it?
Yes.
Yeah.
And interesting story behind that. I'll say it real quick. They were roommates, and one night they were going to sleep, and they said, "Hey, listen, I got a question. If I were to face you in a game, how would you start me? What would you pitch to me?" And he said, "I'd probably start you up high and then low and away." And that's exactly what happened in Game 6. Mitchell remembered that, and when he saw he took the first pitch, second pitch, got the hit, and started the rally. It was a great one. I thank you for the call. Thank you for not. Harass me. Yes, Louis Live.
Yeah, hello. I want to go on a little tirade about baseball for a minute.
All right. Show's yours.
I am so... The fifth straight AL East title, I am so sick of the Yankees. Year after year after year. Can we please have a salary cap in baseball?
Hey, I agree with you. Absolutely. You're absolutely right.
It works in the NFL. I mean, we had to put up with the stupid Cowboys dynasty through the 90s.
It works in the NBA. Let me tell you why salary cap is right. The bottom line is that the Yankees implore some strategy. Steinbrenner isn't an idiot, but it doesn't take a lot of genius to just throw money all around. You get a guy like Ronald Mondesi, you can just add a guy who makes $7 million, and it's a business write-off. If he doesn't work out, who cares? They're the Yankees. Yeah. They can afford it. Look at the A's. Their payroll's $25 million. That's as much as A-Rod makes in 1 year, and they're putting together a heck of a season. There definitely needs to be a salary cap. Even if you made it $110 million, you have to put some kind of limit. The players didn't want that because they're babies, but I think there should be one. This is horrible.
It absolutely is horrible. I mean, it's just a thing. The rich clubs keep getting richer, like the Yankees, and this is why teams like Montreal can never get out of the cellar.
Exactly. You know at the beginning of the year that 6 or 7 teams have a chance to make it, and everybody else doesn't. If you're a fan of the Royals, that's tough luck. They're not going anywhere. They won't go anywhere for a long time. You can root Sweeney to win for a batting title, but they're not going to win a World Series.
Right.
Thank you for your call. Feel free to...
Thanks for letting me vent.
Hey, no problem. All right, welcome to Louis Live.
Yeah, you guys were just talking about the salary cap, right?
Yeah, hey, we're starting to talk about sports. I'm starting to enjoy this. Go ahead, yes.
All right, well, anyway, basically, I mean, I don't understand why on earth you'd want a salary cap there for him, boy. I mean, we're in America, and we believe in capitalism.
Okay, here's the thing. Capitalism, still, players can make as much as they're worth, but the bottom line is that you need to have a limit. Otherwise, you take a team like the Yankees, they have a chance to win this year, and they'll have a chance next year, and they don't need to employ any strategy. It's not about having the best general manager. It's about having the richest general manager. I'm all for capitalism. I understand that. But the bottom line is that fairness needs to play in there. If the sport's going to be ruined, then who cares that you're employing capitalism?
Well, no, I mean, do you understand that you just described, I mean, something like completely uncapitalistic? Well, what you're saying is you need an even playing field, that you want somebody to step in and say, no, I can't do this, or yes, you can do that.
First of all, it won't be an even playing field. Let's say you made the salary cap $150 million. The A's still don't have that money. The A's still aren't going to spend $150 million. But what will happen is that Steinbrenner will at some point have to say limit. He'll have to actually look at players and see if they're worth the value. Right now, Raul Mondesi is absolutely overpaid. He's not worth $7 million. He's worth about $2 million. But Steinbrenner doesn't care. It doesn't matter to him. Money is just like paper. It absolutely doesn't matter. That will destroy the game. Like I said, you go across the league, Tampa Bay, Kansas City, Pittsburgh, Philadelphia. I mean, you name every team, except for 5 or 6. They're not going anywhere. They have no chance. Yeah, that's the problem. Welcome to Louis Live.
Yeah, all you guys have been talking about is baseball, and I'm a big car racing fan.
Okay, you can talk about car racing.
How do you think about the Formula One institution, how, like, with Ferrari, how at the beginning they let Michael Schumacher pass Rubens Barrichello, and today Rubens Barrichello take the one, even though Schumacher was the actual victor?
Right, Schumacher was the actual victor, but they disqualified him, right?
Today?
I believe that's what happened.
Are you crazy? No, Schumacher took second place.
Oh,
they did not disqualify him.
I think they did. Welcome to Louis Live.
Yeah, I'd called in earlier. I wanted to mention something else.
Okay.
I know you're a Met fan. What happened this year about the allegation that the Mets had a bunch of potheads on their team? Was that substantiated?
Right, here's the thing. Now, I don't have the Mets hat. It's just I kind of like the hat. I kind of like the Mets. I like Shea Stadium. But I don't know if I'm a fan. I don't know most of the players on that team. The pothead thing, I don't know exactly who was involved, but there was a bigger story on that team. One of the players, Mike Piazza, was allegedly homosexual, and they were going to bring it out this season. For some reason, they put that on delay. I don't know why. That was actually a bigger story. The pothead thing, I don't know, but you know what? It's amazing. Some of these players have so much talent. I mean, if I want to be a baseball player, I think to myself, I'd have to train, 16 hours a day, or I have to do something. And some of these guys can do whatever they want. They can party, and they can be great players. And you know what? I'm jealous, to be honest with you.
Well, Darryl Strawberry hit, 350 home runs on dope, so...
Exactly. But
there was a picture of a guy with a bong, I think, was all that I saw. And it was a guy who was probably basically a AA or a AAA player, some pitcher.
Excuse me.
So,
yeah.
Anything to make excuses in New York, I guess.
I hear about that, but it's not pleasant to be a Met right now. When you're expected to go to the World Series and you finish in last place, or just about last place, it's not pleasant. They made a lot of moves this year. Mo Vaughn, top of the list. And
that's not a good move. You don't go out and get guys that the Red Sox don't want. That's a bad sign.
I agree with you on that one.
Red Sox are a bunch of women. They're weak. I'll leave it at that.
All right, thank you for your call. Jeez, I got a cold.
Welcome.
I'm sorry.